for the 2.49 mile circuit. Here situated, if you couldn't tell, in the land of chocolate and windmills. Here today, your drivers Tasuki, Alec Gabriel, Ekush, Thunderhead, Exana, Joe Black, and Jarza. Here today. We're of course here for the Academy as well. This great Belgian countryside hosting the F1 calendar from the past. Of course, the tragic death of Jules Villeneuve hangs over this track from, of course, the tragic days in the 80s. However, here we are in a different land, a different time. Here in the Ginetta G55s. It's not even G55s, it is the G55s. Evil can count. Let's give him a round of applause. Oh, seems a bit of lag going on right now in this session as well. That's always the best thing we see here. Let's see who we go on board with. Oh, looking at Alec Gabriel right this current second, coming down the hill towards the corner where unfortunately the tragedy happened. Let's see who we go on board with. There it is, on the left. You can see there the tragic place there where one said Gilles Villeneuve tragically passed in the 82 practice session. I'm pretty sure it was this track. Has sold up. In fact, I am correct. So indeed, hello to anyone joining us here. Of course, it's race with only 7 drivers, 6 to be honest, here right now, currently. We'll do our best to carry on, of course. Here we 6 beautiful drivers here, looking Alec Gabriel coming towards the last corner. No one is currently setting lap there. It's coming through that last corner they come. Thunderhead has left, but we'll get back here soon. Coming across the line, we'll ride on board with Alec Gabriel here in the Ginetta. Crossing the line, braking heavily down into turn number 1. A long left-hander there, clipping the curb quite smoothly there. A little power down here, up to about 4th or 5th gear. We'll get the telemetry up here. Might be a little bit inconsistent here, but we'll see. 2nd gear here, coming up the hill. A bit of a wiggle on the exit, up into 3rd, up into 4th. Then it'll be pretty much taking a lift off here, perhaps down a gear, down 1. Keeping about 80 miles an hour, 90 on the exit. Pulling it back up to 100. 120 miles an hour, almost being up to 130 miles an hour here, perhaps just a little more, peaking at about 131 miles an hour here, into the brakes, down into 2nd, across the curb, up a gear. He's had a bit of a mistake there on the exit, but up 2 gears here, over the crest, 3rd, into 4th, braking down here, down to about 60 miles an hour here, into the braking zone here, and through the chicane they go, back up there, 1st gear corner here, on the exit, powering through, up to 3rd gear, then back up into 4th here, over another crest here, coming to the T2 sector time, towards the hairpin, about a 30-50 miles an hour between that there, brakes down to about 50 miles an hour there, gets to the curb, a little bit sneaky there, and a little bit of a kink here, flatters up course, up to the line, and we're going to be hitting around 140 miles an hour, perhaps in these things, perhaps a little bit less here, let's see, about 130 there, 120, into the brakes, 2nd gear, 50 miles an hour, hug the apex. Let the car run a little bit wide here because you can. Up the gears, into 3rd, and then back into 4th, just coming to the line here at about 115 miles an hour. And that is a great lap here on board with Alex Gabriel. Jezza, however, is 9/10 quicker up the road. There, with Alex Gabriel. Thunderhead running a bit wide down at the chicane where Gilles Villeneuve passed. Of course, I'll go and get the actual corner names up for us right now whilst we're here, so I can call it as Tasuki B-Spec pulling to a stop player on the exit the pit lane there, letting the other cars through. The only female driver currently here, the number 69 as well. Whilst I get the good old track map up here. And here we are. I'm going to tell you this, expect me not to be able to pronounce any of these corners correctly at all. So I'll give you that very nice little warning there. These will probably be butchered horrifically. However, we'll try our best not to butcher them here, as we'll get the stream up on the computer as well, so I can multitask. As we look at Tasuki B-Spec coming through there. Bit on the grass on the exit. Not bad. Comes up the hill over the crest again then. Not currently on the lap low. Currently quicker is X-Roots by 1.3 seconds. Here is she jumps her back to the pits. As we look at X-Anna coming to the last few corners here in that lovely, lovely car there. Comes to the line in the bright orange car. Let's see, does he improve? 36.5, he doesn't improve. So he will still remain a little bit slower. But overall, it's not a bad lap. And he will chuck himself in the pit lane then. So that means we'll skip to another car then as well. As we get the stream up on here. Of course, as well, if you didn't know, we are also streaming on the Gavra channel, so if you do want to check the other chat out, do feel free to do so. Without no minding that, we're looking Jezza coming through the first corner, running a bit wide. Not the first corner. Where is he? Coming over the hill, not the first corner at all. As per usual there, let's go and get the Official Academy up as well. Here as well. Oh dear. Indeed, if you want to know as well, just looking Soup Stream as well. Well, we've got 7 here, so people are actually turning up. That is good. We've got our first comment of the day, and it is Chris Davis. Hello to Chris Davis in the chat there as well, and it's a beautiful thing. If you didn't know, I've got both the streams up. We've got Soup's and mine up, because I am 100% professional now. Coming through the chicane, X-Hand up, running through there, doing a good job. Joe Black is currently in 4th. X-Roos leading the way, now only 4 turns ahead of Alec Gabriel, so doing brilliant there. Is Ekrush ahead of the Alec Gabriel. I think we are 2 more drivers to come here, of course. Low Group A is always going to be slightly more drivers indeed. Well, they've already finished. How long have we got left? 10 whole minutes. Indeed, we're looking at. Who should we go and look at here? Ekroos. Let's look at Ekroos coming through. Turn number 1 there. Doing a good job in the beautiful number 79 there. Clear as day. Coming through turn number 2. Best laps on my opinion. Well, I'm definitely saying here, so I think they can get into perhaps the mid 38, of course. Perhaps a little more. bit left. So indeed, possibly a mid time there. 9 minutes to go here. 2 attempts. Tasuki Beastback is in second place there. Great lap by the female there, pulling herself up into second place. So 2 attempts there ahead of Alec Gabriel, who is 2 attempts further down. So Jezza is in 4th. Let's see what he can do as we watch him come through the last corner. Number 98. Beautiful white livery there coming to the line. Let's see, what can he do? Does he improve? The answer is no, he doesn't. And I am going to quickly pop off for a drink, because I do have a sore throat. So we'll go and chuck you on looking at Alec Gabriel, and I shall see you in a few minutes. Right, we are back. Indeed, after a small break, apologies there for anyone there wondering where I went. Had a quick drink break. Whew. So, let's see what's happened. Well, Ekrus has improved, Tasuka Beastback second up, Gabriel third. Desert 4th, Thunderhead 5th, Xana is 6th, Joe Black is 7th, and talking about Xana, he's pulled into the pit lane. As a message has been deleted in the other chat. Oh dear. Never good that. And Joe Black comes through turn number 1, struggling here in the Ginetta, of course. Drivers will struggle in different tracks, of course. Testing these drivers to their limits, and perhaps more. However, X-Roos leads the way, of course. Oh, talking about Joe Black there, going off. Joe Black, winner of the last race, as I have a miniature voice break. Nevertheless, carrying on with the voice break there. Indeed, and we'll carry on like nothing happened. X-Roos leads the way still. 3 minutes to go here in this session. Of course, any comments, put them in the chat. Feel free to ask your pleasure away. Remember, Coca-Cola, the sponsor of this drink, live on the Coke side of Zolder. As we come past the pit lane in a second here, looking at Alec Gabriel. That's not that well on the left. Technically it was. I can still say that. It was the pit lane on the right, not the left. That coming up the hill. Coming over the crest. Coming down towards the beautiful chicane here. Indeed, braking heavily down 2 gears, like we said. Perhaps in this chicane, quite nicely done this time here. And I did remember about the track names, by the way, if you wondered. Track names are as followed, and it's really complicated because they're all in a foreign language, if you didn't know, because usual, and they're really hard to spell. However, when let's see who is currently coming through the first corner. So Jezza here is coming through the first 2 corners. So we're currently in the corner called Sterelbodster N Rotsbotch, and then he's coming through the Cannabotched. And then the Lutzen Bannerbotched. These are close to what the corner's name. And then coming into the Clean Chicane. Breaking down into the Clean Chicane here. Spelled K-L-E-I-N-E. Coming into Butte. And then coming into the chicane area called Talamaboocht. Now, of course, if you're Dutch or Belgium, not Dutch, if you're Belgium, I'm purely sorry. Coming down here into that was Bulgar Speederbots, and then into the corner there was called the King, what's called Jochen Richenbotch. And then coming into Jackie Ickenbocht. And then the first corner, of course, is called Este. So very complicated corner names, as per usual here. As per usual, every place there, Cruz still leads the way in this qualifying session. So we'll be coming to those little sections here in about 53 seconds then. Alec Gabriel back out on track. Has he improved his time? No, he's not. And no, he's not. Comes across the line and doesn't improve there, of course. The Academy, of course, punishing these drivers and pushing them to their limits to make sure we find the best of the best and the worst of the worst, to find their strengths and weaknesses to, of course, recommend what series they go into. Of course, some cars, like we said, are going to be for everyone. 23 seconds to go in this afternoon's, well, this evening's technically practice session here. The sunshine starting to peer through the sky in this beautiful, beautiful afternoon in Zolder. Steaming conditions, of course, from earlier on. A bit of a rain. There's a bit of a lock-up for Jezza coming through the corner there. Gets away with it there. And that is your practice session to be over right now. So, top of the time list of this practice session is Egrus. Tasuki B-Spec will be second. Alec Gabriel, a fine third position from them. Jezza is fourth. Thunderhead is in fifth. Exana sixth. And Joe Black is seventh position in this practice session. And now it's time for 15 minutes of qualifying. We see our drivers pushing themselves to the limit and more to see who can gain the all-important pole position. And as per usual, anything can happen in these racing conditions, and it usually does. As the cars exit the pit lane. Let's see who will come out on track first. It is Jezza, who immediately spins. Want to be careful here, and he chucks himself back in the pit lane. So first on track, I believe. Let's see who is the first official on track. Tasuki B-Spec is now the first person on track from Japan. I'm pretty certain. Japanese driver. The car's getting out of the way. That'll be Alec Gabriel passing. Pretty sure that might be. Let's see who it is. Joe Black. Passing Joe Black there in turn number 2. As Suzuki B-Spec comes down to the braking zone here at the ominously named corner I cannot remember straight away off the top of my head, because I need to get that back up. There we go. Oh dear. And coming down to the adequately named corner called Boulder Botched, I'll enter Jock and Reddit. And then into Jackie X Botch, the final corner. Jackie X, of course, great Formula 1 driver, great, of course, pretty certain other champion in other sports as well, in touring cars and LMP cars, of course, the Group B machines back in the day. Fantastic driver, and of course, Jock and Rit, if I'm correct. The only posthumous world champion, if I'm perfectly correct, that is the person I'm thinking of. Of course, champion and beat Jackie X to the title, if I'm correct as well. "12 minutes to go then, as we look at Jezza sliding through turn number 1 in that car. Thunderhead, the first man to set a time. No, it's not. It's Suzuki B-Spec, the first female and only female here to set a time. Then down the hill, in to Botched. The corner that is going to be botched many times here. The number 69. That's a bit wide. Comes through. Beautiful countryside here. The beautiful green trees and the green long grass here. In the slightly misty conditions here. Breaking down into Bolga. And then coming through Jock and Wet. Steaming down here. Nice first sector. Great second sector. Low, beaten by Alex Gabriel there. So he's currently quickest here. Miles quicker than anyone else. Let's see what he can do. Crosses the line. He'll be quickest here at 1:38. Let's see. Indeed, Alex Gabriel second there. 1:38.9. So a few temps down there straight away. Who will be next? I'm pretty certain Joe Black. Len Exrus comes across the line. No one can get in time there. So let's see who would be next. I'm pretty sure, is it Jezza coming through the last corner? It is. Let's see what Jezza can do. It's a good first sector and a good second sector. I think I'll be good for second. Third, not as good as I think there. Let's see. Thunderhead, the next man to come to the line. What can he do? He comes to the line. It's going to be, I think, 4th, 5th place then. So, Tasuki Beastback currently leads away by 0.6 of a second then. From Alec Gabriel, Jezza, Joe Black, Thunderhead and X-Roos. As now the next person to settle that will be Xana. As we just sync up with the official timing apps here that are now officially working quite well here today. As we look at Xana coming to the braking zone here down the hill. Down towards Jochen, no, that's Jackie X, should we say here. Comes through the last corner. Let's see, he's going to come to the line. It's a 36 and a 32.3, so it's decent and decent. Comes to the line. And what's it going to be? Crosses that line, and it's good. Question, do I like this track? Zolder is a, well, it's a very good track to be honest. It does have quite a lot of undulation, of course, and it is, of course, a fantastically nice track, of course. Quite a lot of bumps, of course, as well. Fortunately, the only reason I don't really like this track much, it's not exactly the track's fault. Of course, the tragic passing of Jill Villeneuve in 1982 is a little downside reason I don't really like this track the most. But as a general track, it's nice. But driving on it, it's a different story. I never really hooked the car up around this track, especially the chicanes at the corner before that and coming down into this corner here as well. Extremely difficult to turn in as well. You can see the rumble strips there. Easy to make mistakes, and of course compromise your line quite badly, which makes you harder to push out on the exit as well. As you can see, Xana is saying that, runs wide down there as well, coming into Burger, into the Burger hairpin, and then into Jock and Rit before the Jackie X chicane. So X-Roos currently quickest on the timesheets then. Alec Gabriel does not improve. Joe Black is in 4th. Jezza is in 5th position. Thunderhead and Xana are 6th and 7th. As we look at Jezza coming into turn number, that's the last turn, runs a bit wide. So he comes down across the line here, along the long straight here. And crossing the line he comes. Did he improve? I think he did. Slightly there, perhaps. Let's see. Doesn't think he did. In fact, he did massively actually. A whole 3/10. So that's very decent by him. Alec Gabriel coming down into the triple chicane here. 1, 2, and there's the third kind of triple chicane there, of course. Not really the best chicane, of course, and it kind of slightly reminisces of the old Monza first chicane, the old Rataphilia, if you don't know about that. It was destroyed in 2000, the Rataphilia, the old original one. Well, not the original, the second original one that used to be there. It was kind of a right, left, coming then into the Curve de Grande. Of course, if you do just want to look it up, it's quite good looking up. Probably like 1999 cars. There's a Gabriel did not cross the line there. 6 minutes to go then in quali for a little bit of a warm up. I'm correct in saying here. 5 minutes to go here in Belgium. As Suzuki Beastback enters the pit lane leg, doing perhaps a little practice pit stop there, as Alec Gabriel exits the pit lane as she enters the number 13 with heavy damage on the front, so I think may have gone off somewhere. And of course, once you've damaged the car, there's no turning back at all. Looking at the drivers, as we look at Xana in the orange, back in blue, number 90 there, coming through the corner. Thunderhead coming up the hill as well. Coming into the triple chicane here, the number 10. Breaking down 2 gears there, about 60-70 miles an hour, almost clipping the curb there, almost hitting the bollards as well. Gets away with it there, through the chicane there indeed. As Thunderhead set a 36.7 in the first sector and a 31.9 in the second. Be interesting to see what he can do then, if he can improve that lap time then. Coming down here, coming through Jock and Rick then, and then coming down towards the Jackie X chicane. Fast and quick, breaking down 2 gears then. Into this last chicane, bouncing over the inside and then bouncing over the outside there, and then coming to the line. Let's see, what can he do? Can he improve that car? Let's see, comes to the line. Does he improve? The answer is a grand total of no, he didn't. He must have got his lap invalidated. That is a shame there, and Xana talking about that does improve and dumps him down into 7th, so everyone's separated by just 2.7 seconds here. What is a good showing indeed. As if you're wondering if you are just watching us, do go and check over the official Gavra channel. They are officially now in the race indeed. So do feel free to check them lot out there as well. The Group A cars, of course, if you do not remember that. As we have 3 minutes to go here in quali, and it looks all set to be X-Roos pole position. Tsuka B-Spec in second, not really closing 4 attempts there. Then Jezra a whole 1.2 seconds off the pace of the leader here. And a 36.4, not good though. Alec Gabriel, however, absolutely flying there, and talking about flying over the chicane. Lego, and it's a bit of a spin there, and it seems the person ahead waiting up there, stopping ahead. That is don't know who that was. Good to see if we can find it. It was one of the orange and black cars, and it is Thunderhead. There, that Thunderhead getting in the way. Dumping it to pit lane. That is a interesting strategy then. Alec Gabriel actually set really decent first sector course. This second sector will not be as good. Evil Air rating, why not? I think it's because we got delayed a few minutes waiting for other people to get here. I think we were due quite a few more people actually, but of course we delayed by about 5-10 minutes. It's actually an entire 10 minutes almost here compared to the other stream. That is the exact reason for that one there. 10-minute delay had occurred. However, it does mean if you are wanting to watch 2 different streams at the same time and 2 different action-packed races going on, you can. Ah, 12 people to the race, only 7 have turned up here indeed, so a bit of a poor showing. I suppose not all of them can turn up here. That is unfortunate, of course. Well, it looks like Jezza is comfortable being in the position he's in. And it's your boy Bowie's joined the chat here in my end. So, good to see Bowie joining the chat there. Down into braking zone. A minute to go here in this beautiful area. It's a 32 lap race indeed, so might not be able to do the entire thing, but we'll see how far we can go. Of course, I do have exams tomorrow as well, so we'll try and get quite the far way into indeed. As the wind outside latting my window and the trees as well there in the background. As Alec Gabriel flows into the chicane, runs a bit wide. It's a decent first, second sector actually. See, might put him up a few positions. It does not. And is in the pit lane. So, Ek Roos, looks like to be no improvement Suzuki B-Spec in the pit, so no improvements. Jezza also in the pit lane, no improvements from him. Alec Gabriel in the pit lane. Joe Black in the pit lane. Xana in the pit lane, and Thunderhead. So, with only 10 seconds to go, X-Roos will be pole position today. Suzuki B-Spec will be second. Jezza will be in third. Alec Gabriel fourth. Joe Black will be fifth. Xana will be sixth. And Thunderhead will be seventh. So now we have another 5 minutes of warm-up then, before we are underway here. There's a 5-minute counter, so if you're wanting, of course, this 5 minutes is just for any preparation, of course. If you do need to do anything, practice any stop, or just tweak your car a little tiny bit, there's a bit of a collision in the pit lane there. Let's reset the timing shade on our screen there to get all of the cars back in. Of course, using the official Gavra timing app here, made by the good old Van Elk here. Indeed, we'll be using it to the best of the abilities here. Indeed, like Chris is saying, only 12 people did turn up last race, and only 7 turned up today. That's a decrease of about half there. Nearly, well, about 4 people didn't turn up, which is indeed a real shame. Of course, we can't say what the circumstances are for each of the drivers, of course. Depending on what year they are in, they may have exams indeed and stuff like that, so we don't expect them all to be able to turn up each time. Of course, some of them might also have urgent issues, or perhaps connection issues and can't sign in. We do not know. Of course, we may find out in due time. And indeed, talking about that, X-Roos, with 3 minutes to go, has disconnected. That is absolutely tragic here. Means now only 6 people here. And that is a real problem. Don't know what the circumstances is. I don't think he can get back in, however. So that means, I'm pretty certain, X-Roos, who was very comfortable to be on pole position, if I'm perfectly correct, that was the one who was on pole, is gone. And a real shame there. They will not be able to get back in, of course, unless they are very lucky. And that is a real problem. Two minutes to go then. And indeed, it's a shame to say, it doesn't look like X-Roos will be able to get back in here, and if he did, he would have lost the beautiful positions he had in quali. And that would be a real shame. Then a minute to go here. And it isn't very good. We do hope the best for each of our drivers here today. And hoping everyone else on the stream to watch an interesting stream in about a minute's time then. 1 minute 30 to go. And we'll be underway. So look, Xana coming through that final corner. Doing a good job there. Of course, 1 minute to go then. And then we will be lights out and away they will go for the race today. Bit of a lock up. Going to go into the gravel they will. Just keeping it out there. Bit of a wiggle on the exit. That's not what we like to see. apparently the stream quality is now low, according to the PlayStation, so that doesn't seem promising. We'll carry on. Well, we'll carry on. 15 seconds to go. And we will be underway. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This evening's commentary will be done by Evil Dragon, here for this afternoon's Belgian Grand Prix, here at Zolder. Hope you do enjoy. Remember to grab your popcorn, because it's time for racing in the chocolate mountains of Belgium. Or chocolate forests, actually. That's a good point. So these 6 cars line themselves up for this race. All those 5 lights come on for the start of the race, and it is a lights out and away they go, and I think everyone gets off the line correctly. It's a good start up front for Tsuki B-Spec, and of course pulls away Jezza, and there's about 3-4 wide. There's going to be contact in the middle there. They are contact down the back. There's about 3 wide coming there. Down the back, I'm pretty sure each of them got away. Joe Blacklead taking a switchback up the inside, about 2 or 3 of them there. And flying past there, back up into 4th position. So, a great start then by Joe Black. Of course, Suzuki B-Spec has it all to lose here. Up front indeed, after making a good start then. They will lead the race then. Jezza will line up 2nd. Alec Gabriel will line up 3rd. As they all come through the black. Joe Black, a bit of a wiggle on the rear end. There's a car spinning in there. And that's Thunderhead. Heavy contact into the Armco there, right on the back there. Losing on the chicane. That's not what you want to see there. Gets the car back together then. As each of the cars fly through the corners there. Exana all already over the back of Joe Blacklen. Coming down towards the hairpin section down here. It'll be interesting to see if he's wanting to make a desperate move up the inside so early on in the race. I don't think so. Indeed, he backs out of that one correctly. So Alec Gabriel is in 3rd, Jez at 2nd, and Tsuki B-Spec will lead this race then on lap number 1 after disconnections from the pole sitter in the warm-up session. Indeed, tragically striking there. Jezza closing up a little bit there. Indeed, as Tsuki takes a defensive, not defensive line, taking the right line into turn number 1 then. As they come down into turn number 1 and turn number 2 then. Pardon me there. Apologies for anyone hearing that there in the chat. Alec Gabriel in 3rd will move swiftly on, and a little bit of a mistake then from in the wall, Jezza in the wall, and Alec Gabriel in as well. Oh my goodness me, they've both gone off together, and they're going to be squabbling here. I've got to watch out for Joe Black, who gets put on the grass into the corner, and just about getting, oh my goodness me, it's almost all gone terribly wrong there. Jezza gets back past, and Alec Gabriel maintains into 2nd, so almost a tragic accident there. Rowie, that could have been an almighty shunt there. These drivers just getting away there, and Joe Black, rightly so, will be absolutely fuming with that there. Alexander will be chasing back on the back of Jezza, so Joe Black will drop 2 places down, I'm pretty sure. A mistake there for Alexander as well. Meanwhile, Suzuki B-Spec leads this way by a comfortable margin here of around about, I'm pretty sure it's around. Let's see if we can find out what the gap is here. It's a bit hard, it's really hard to tell the gap indeed right now. It's a bit glitchy there. We'll see if we can update the timing sheet when it comes. As sounded like someone went off, and it's Jezza in the pit lane. That's what's going on. Jezza is dived itself in. X-Bruce says he's got to love his wheels, so it seems X-Bruce struggling here. It'll be interesting to see what the problem was there. Indeed, of course, sad that he is gone. Well, moving on. Tosuki B-Spec leads this way. Alec Gabriel is in second, and a bit of a lag spike there from him. Proves a bit of a problem there indeed. Xana drifting through the corner there, ahead of Joe Black. And then Thunderhead and of course Jezza in the pit lane, exiting the pit lane as we speak currently now. His wheel was blocking. Sounds like a big problem there. Of course I don't know too much about wheel settings. I don't actually currently own a wheel anymore. I used to quite a long time ago. Well, Tsuka B-Spec then giving the hand of the opportunity to lead the race with 29 to go. And is going to take it by storm. Coming into that braking zone here. Running a bit wide actually. There, locking up there. 73 is not too far back there. Still saying Thunderhead on the official timing app there. So a unfortunate problem on the timing app there. Of course, it is still in early stages there. And is actually now entirely bugged out for me. Indeed, so it's still saying Thunderhead is second. Low Thunderhead is currently in fifth, so we'll try to ignore the problem there. And actually, it is currently saying every other person is in order, so it is just duplicated. Thunderhead is showing 8 people, even though there is 8 people, so it's showing 2 Thunderheads. Low will move on swiftly there and carry on. Well, the gap currently will have to use this old-fashioned way method. It's about 2.5 seconds there from that. Xana currently a 7 seconds back left from him. So a real struggle then as we try to find the correct camera. Here it is. As we look, Tsuka B-Spec coming for the first corner, followed by Alec Gabriel there. Xana will be up next, followed swiftly by Joe Blacklen as they both fly through the chicane there, up of course to the triple chicane here as we look at Xana coming through the corner and then Joe Black swiftly following through as well. Thunderhead is in 5th place and of course Jezza struggling at the back, and I'm pretty sure Thunderhead almost got himself a penalty there as well. So 28 whole laps to go there today. Left in the session with the leader Tsuki B-Spec, the female from Japan, leading the way and looking perhaps comfortable here for a perhaps brilliant win. Lobe saying that Alec Gabriel is closing now the gap now 2.3, so another 2 tenths out there alone. Of course a few seconds back to Xana following suit here, trying perhaps to close up. No success currently let low. So Joe Black however closing right up to the back of him, the Thunderhead closing up on all of them, and then Jezza, who is going to be hoping to be doing some blistering lap times in the coming laps, indeed hopefully catch up to the back here. Meanwhile, battle for third place then. Joe Black perhaps pouncing on opportunities here to make a move. Very close, not going to get any cigar there up the inside. However, he's very, very close indeed. Braking into the third corner. Well, not really braking on the exit. He's going to try and make a move to the inside. Bit of a squeeze. That's very much a squeeze. I think he's got a long side here into the braking zone. The camera will show us he is through. Passing is a bit of a slide by Xana on the exit. Trying to get past, but through into third place is Joe Black. As we look at the leader here, Tsuka B-Spec leading the way even more. And Gabriel in second. Joe Black still got to protect that car from the driver behind. Xana will be closing. Thunderhead will be trying to close on all of them. Indeed, Jezza going to be struggling. Indeed, he is currently the third fastest, if I'm not mistaken. Currently third fastest on the track that last lap. So, indeed, pushing hard, these drivers, indeed. 27 laps to go, of course, if you're wondering. As well, we are streaming Group A as well in there. So do remember to go and check them out as well. Xana and Joe Black running together. Though Joe Black currently quickest. His last lap was about 2 seconds quicker than the car behind. What's a very good and solid lap indeed from him. Alec Gabriel in second then, however, is not closing. Suzuki now slightly opening that gap up a little bit. Indeed, and hello again to Chris Davis joining us back in the chat on our screen. Good to see you back, Claire, indeed, as we look at the other chat as well. Having both streams up at the same time. Alec Gabriel in second, the number 13. Not really closing, like that last lap was about, let's say, about 3 tenths slower. No, Joe Black actually currently running quite well, actually, but slower still. Xana dropping back, and of course Thunderhead and Jezza, of course, after mistakes. I don't exactly know what happened to Jezza after his mistake. He just randomly pitted, and we don't really know exactly what happened, although it'll be interesting to see in the coming time if we get an update on that, perhaps after the race, what happened. Indeed, we do love the Jetta GT4, of course, if you didn't know. The fastest the fastest GT4 car in this, pretty much here, of course. We used to win a GT4 championship, I think, sometime last year, pretty sure almost a year ago we had GT4. Indeed, that was a very fun championship to look at, and of course work with my commentator, who is currently doing the other group of Soup in the official Gavra chat, the Crazy Irishman. Indeed. Well, moving on to our races, we get a random message from JB, a very late message there that distracted me there. Suzuki B-Spec leads this race still by a comfortable margin ahead of Alec Gabriel then. Joe Black, however, perhaps actually closing a little bit by little bit, however, that last lap, not very good compared to him. It is a very fun circuit, of course. X-Roos going to ask this random question. Finding Academy fun, I see, hopefully. Pressing the cars very hard, it looks like, indeed. How are you enjoying the first taste of Gavra racing? We'll hopefully wait for a response as we look at Joe Blackler going a bit slowly down the hill. Well, Suzuki B-Spec doing all that they can do, leading the way. And the one only Cattle Park. And indeed JB joining us as well. Up Suzuki leads this way by a comfortable margin out. Gabriel doing a comfortable job second. However, Joe Black, I have to say, currently still very impressing me compared to what I saw in the past of him in different races indeed. Showing himself to be a brilliant little driver here. Indeed, it is very good. It's fun racing with nice people, indeed. That's what the Gavra League's about. Fair, clean, low. Sometimes a bit of banging tyres is all that needs to be. JB asking why you not like me as a commentator. Now, that's something I have to definitely take soup out, as I actually don't like you. I don't actually have any grudge or anything. However, that was Soup's decision, and of course we all just agreed to it, because at the time it was the most strongest solution. Of course, the overall thing was Soup's decision after all, so we can't really argue too much about what the lead commentator is saying, indeed. However, like I said, if you do want to message me, I will help you out occasionally, indeed. Perhaps get you back in eventually and give you quite a lot of heads up, because I do think you have quite a lot of potential. The only thing that sucks a bit that some people are not there sometimes. Well, that's a very big problem we've need to start addressing. Indeed, Extra is bringing up there about drivers not turning up. Now, if you're just joining us and of course looking at previous streams and the previous stream of this, of course, having a full 12 people. Here we only have 7. Of course, we now only have 6 after Xru's had a problem, perhaps looks like, with his will. Now, the thing is, of course, with the time of year, perhaps quite a few of them, perhaps doing exams as well, so that will take, because there is an exam tomorrow for English if you're in the UK and doing your GCSEs, as I know that because I have one, because yay, fun. So that could be, well, a reason why, because I think few of these people are from the UK. However, we will look indeed for others as well. Indeed. So that might be a reason why. That's a little bit of a ramble about that. However, we do want to have there indeed. I'm lucky I got my exam on Thursday, so I presume Xru's that will be the maths exam then, if I'm not mistaken. If you're doing maths, do put it in the comments there, because I think I know that will be maths. It'll be paper 2 if you're from where I think you are. Oh, Alec Gabriel, a big slide there. Keeping it together, however. That is a very lucky mistake there by him. Not to bin it in the gravel there. Easy thing to do. I will say that. Bit of a trips on the exit. Joe Black is in third now. Slightly catching. Only 2 tenths off the pace of the car ahead. And then we've got Thunderhead and Xana, who are in different ones alone. And Jez, of course, right down the back. Struggling indeed. Ah, it's in Belgium. And Barry says, I hate maths. Now, I, of course, if you didn't know, I'm dyslexic. English and me don't really go along very well. So, that's all you need to know about my career in anything to do with writing. As I have a small lump in the back of my throat there. To clear off. Cool. Continuing on then, as we just peer into the chat, 22 laps to go. Barry talking about the good old Netherlands. Of course, here in Belgium, however, for this very nice race. Now, I'm pretty certain a few things about this track. I'm pretty certain Lowe's big windmills, turbines, not windmills, they're turbines. They weren't there originally, though knowing me, they probably were. I don't really remember this track too much from the past, apart from, of course, seeing, of course, the tragic accident. Indeed, Cadwell is dyslexic as well. And it's I'm pretty sure it's not 20. I'm pretty sure it's 15. Oh, that's a mistake left from Alec Gabriel on board there as we look at that. $14 laps to go on the other group, if you're wondering. Just a quick update on that one. There is having quite a bit of a battle there as well. Indeed. As we look ahead, Suki B-Spec leads this race by a country mile here ahead of Alec Gabriel. Joe Black is in third. Xana is fourth. And Thunderhead having a bit of a mistake there. Fifth. And Jezza, I think actually now definitely catching actually. Yeah, you can see from his horrible mistake is finally catching people up now from the back. So doing a very, very good job indeed. Indeed there. As Thunderhead, actually talking about Thunderhead, he's made a mistake here and is now going to be very much under pressure from Jezza. So let's look aboard with Jezza here coming down towards the awkwardly named, I think it's Bogger Corner. Of course, if you know how to pronounce the corners, I'm sorry for butchering them. There's another mistake there. Coming into Jock and Reddit there. The Jock and Reddit kink. And then coming down, of course, towards Jackie X chicane. No, it's got some other weird letters after it, though. It's going to be called a Jackie X chicane for the time being right now. As in the pit box has become Alec Gabriel here. And passing is Jezza here on the outside. It's going to see if he can blast his way past. And I think already pulling ahead of Thunderhead there. Thunderhead absolutely useless to try and resist there and dropping back already then. And Jezza then finally overtaken. Actually, Alec Gabriel now be behind these guys as he's now made a pit stop like I saw earlier. So making a pit stop indeed. And let's see where he goes. So Joe Black will take second now. Perhaps it'll be interesting to see where others come, if others need to stop as well. So Alec Gabriel could be a real spanner in the works here. Indeed. So let's see then if any of these are going to pit. Well, Chuki isn't. Joe Black, I'd see if Joe Black decides to pit. It's interesting why Alec Gabriel has pitted. Let's see. Is Joe Black heading for that pit road? He is not. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It sucks to have problems in this race. It's like 15 minutes from where I live. Well, indeed, of course, problems can happen anywhere in these races. Just like in real life. Even the hardest preparation can't prepare you for a problem of any course. Now, as you can see now, Alec Gabriel, where can he come from back here now? Because we do expect, well, I presume people are going to pit now as well. So it'll be interesting to see where this all comes out. It's going to be very interesting now to see, of course, if they don't pit, of course. If you don't know if he had a problem or not, perhaps running light of fuel. Perhaps he just ruined those tyres really correctly. See if he can come back through and overtake Thunderhead, perhaps even Jezza here. As his lap time, let's have a look at his lap. What cost the line now? It's going to be a 2:39. Of course, he did just pit last lap. Which is just literally a minute slower than the cars ahead, so it's interesting to see there indeed. Indeed, problems occur for everyone, you have to deal with it. Indeed, well, of course, no actual proper people have actually left the sessions due to mistake, actually. It's a very good showing, to be honest, of retirements to people just dropping out for random issues. Of course, if you disconnect or have issues like that, that's an acceptable issue, but very solid to see compared to the other group. That's a nice camera angle there. As we look, Thunderhead's going to be under pressure, I'm pretty sure, in the next coming laps here. That's Chuki Spec still calls the way. 18 laps to go then. Joe Black will be second. Xana sliding into the last two corners here, coming into the chicane. All locked up on the rears. It comes through, gets away there, and comes down this beautiful, beautiful start straight. Of course, pretty certain this is one of the few tracks that hasn't really had too many updates on it, and since the original days back in, of course, pretty sort of from the 80s and 70s, hasn't really had too many updates. So it's still kind of got this kind of very classic feel to it. Indeed, it very does, like you can see from the buildings there. Perhaps a few modern updates here and there. Of course, definitely certain those wind turbines are modern. Thunderhead is slowly and in the pit. Alec Gabriel again, so something's definitely wrong here with Alec Gabriel here. Perhaps a pit strategy issue, and we don't know. Now it's very tragic here. If he has got a problem, was in second. This is basically going to write him out of this Grand Prix now, by the looks of it. Indeed there, just looking at some of the other tracks, of course. The Coca-Cola is sponsoring this racetrack, and I'm going to ask X-Race, is Coca-Cola still sponsoring the racetrack, or is it just for this game? Because if you said you lived pretty close to Zolder, if I'm pretty certain you did. But as you can see, is Jezza runs a bit wide there, and Thunderhead also runs very wide and slightly spins. So Alex Gabriel exits the pit lane again. So let's see, it's going to be almost a lap down. He is now over a lap down of these guys. So that's absolutely tragic from him. Now over a lap down. So that's pretty much written his race off. Though, going to stay out there hopefully and try and push on as hard as he can. Something else, so it's not always sponsored by that, so it's sponsored by other things, and Barry says, I think you do a pretty good job on these cars. Well, I do think so as well, you mean. These cars are pretty hard to drive in my opinion, though. Once you get a good car and a good setup, it's actually quite fun to drive. I've, of course, driven these cars a few times on different games. That's going to be a penalty. That's going to be a spin as well. Manic Gabriel, I'm pretty certain we've lost someone. Exana's gone. Oh dear. That's a disconnection there. So that puts 5 drivers in this race. That's problems all around, and I'm pretty sure we've lost we've lost the other one there, as the game has a bit of a glitch then. So we've lost Alec Gate, so we've lost the host here as well, so this could cause a few lag issues. Trying to get my words correct. So, only 5 drivers remain in this race, and Thunderhead is going slowly. So, let's see if he can get out. Now, this track, of course, showing itself now pretty certain in the past as well, on different races here. This track sometimes brings up quite poor showings around this track, and I don't know exactly why. I don't know if it's something to do with the track or something, but every time we've been here, apart from in the other stream, we've had a very poor showing. Which is very shame to say. Indeed. And Dan just letting me know about that. So I will just take a few screenshots here and there of results and stuff for him. Yeah, that's what I meant. Dan is gone. So that's indeed a problem perhaps for him. Indeed, if that's a real shame. Well, Stuka B-Spec leads the way. 16 laps to go. Well, continuing the pattern of the way with only 5 drivers left, which is a, of course, a bit. Now it's starting to feel a little bit bad. Of course, each of them have disconnected as well, so that's kind of shows a bit of a poor connection issue from the game here, which is indeed a tragic cause of error here. Yeah, I've just realised that as well. So I'm now the professional racing driver here. So I have to make sure there's no real content. Well, it's not really too bad actually. Jezza is now in 3rd, by the way. Just gonna put that out there. After the disconnection of the other person beginning with X, forgotten his name because that's how professional I am already. Forgetting people's names already. After listening to Xana, that's the one, off the top of my head. Xana disconnects. This means he is now in 3rd. The game is glitching out as well, so we are having some issues here. So Xana disconnects, means Jezza is in 3rd from the back, about half a lap down. Is now in 3rd, so very solid job here. 15 laps to go, and it looks very certain that Suka B-Spec is going to take a win here. As she comes to lap Jezza here, so that's Thunderhead. So she will come to lap. Jezza is almost half the track up the road. Out Gabriel continuing on though in this race, despite the issues he's having. So showing his worth. Showing that he is not going to be undermined, despite struggling so poorly from this race. Of course, will perhaps come home. It'll be 5th place. However, we do remember he isn't last, technically. Of course, we do have 3 retirees. Well, no, we have 2. Of course, Xana and X-Roos both disconnecting, of course, from this race. And of course, Dan as well disconnecting as well. It is a real shame with 14 whole laps to go here in this race. Thunderhead is now behind the leader, so has now been lapped again, I'm pretty certain, for the 2nd time on lap 17. So no, it's for the 1st time, and of course pretty good slow still. The driver's doing a pretty good job in my opinion as they come under the signs. 14 laps to go, we're 7 laps behind leader. Indeed, that Gabriel having a bit of a mistake there. And that's what Barrett gets for doing that to my stream. He gets put on timeout. 12 laps to go. Looking, indeed, if you're wondering what I am doing, I am looking at the other stream here. Well, "12 laps to go, 5 people left." Indeed, a great battling going on indeed, if you're wondering, on the other group. Wow, the Suki B-Spec leads his way now, coming up to, he's definitely closing. He's actually closing now on Jezza, actually. I think Jezza's made a pit stop. Pretty certain Jezza has made another pit stop now, and Alec Gabriel is running down the back, struggling indeed. Well, 11 laps to go. Still leading the way is Suzuki. Joe Black second. Jezza is third. Thunderhead fourth. Alec Gabriel is fifth. And that is the grid right now. A real poor showing here. Oh, they've only got 7 in there, so we only got 5 in here. Problems indeed all around today in streams. With 3 laps to go on their end, 10 laps to go on our end. Oh dear. Well, 9 laps to go, 5 left still in this race. Suzuki leads, Joe Black second, Jezza is third and Thunderhead fourth. I want to say now, actually, just looking at Jezza is actually pitted. Of course, Jezza pitted again. We don't actually notice this actually, but there is actually going to be a battle for the podium here, and he's going to pass, I think, straight away. Thunderhead, 8 laps to go. He's going to try and make a move here. With 8 laps to go. It's going to get interesting very quickly here. And he's going to try as hard as he might. Is he not going to get past that car? It's going to be extremely hard. And we know Thunderhead's going to be defending. And he's going to go defensive. He knows he's there. And going to force him to the outside. But no moving left. Has to cut back. Through Jock and Rick they go. Side by side. And he's through past back to the podium. Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, no. That's gone horribly wrong. What's happened? He's been hit. Hit from the car behind, surely, or something gone horribly wrong there. But in the wall goes Jezza then. 6 laps to go. A mass problem then for Jezza. Tapped in the wall though. Tsuki leads, Joe Black still second. The battle for third. A bit of a drift then from Thunderhead. This battle is not over yet. They're going to battle with 7 whole laps to go to the end. And running wide in turn number 1, and perhaps a slight opportunity to the inside, and bang, bang, they go again. Side by side, through the corner, banging tyres, and I think through this time. Yes, he is through. Though, is he going to get a cut back? Yes, he might. He'll get a pen if he's not careful. A side by side, down to the chicane. Look at this, fantastic stuff here. Still side by side, he's going to be forced to the outside. Is he going to make a move? I don't think so, and he finally slots back through it behind. Wowee, fantastic stuff here then. Randomly. Fantastic, going back for the move. Ooh, very close there. Diving. He's going to make a dive. No, he's not. He backs out again. So battling these two together. Gets a cut through this time. And is going to try and force a mistake up ahead. But no, still no cigar from Thunderhead. Fantastic battling here. He's going to try again, perhaps to make a mistake. Force him to the inside. Perhaps try something. But he's holding his line fantastically here. And finally starts to pull ahead here. Great stuff then. Indeed. And he's starting to drop back now, indeed. So great little battle there. Suddenly, that was fantastic stuff to see there. Indeed, if you're wondering, the actual official stream is now across the line. With currently 6 laps to go. And wowee, some action going on our end. A fantastic battle here, and Thunderhead already dropping miles back then. Struggling ferociously in that car. And I think that might be the sudden accent for right now. Waking you all up out of your seats, per usual, as gap there. Thunderhead now, of course, is struggling a 2 seconds slower that lap there. Oh, Jez, still very interesting what happened there. Jez hitting the wall or something. So the official stream is done. Great to see. Right, we're back. Don't worry. The game's having a bit of a glitch for me. I'm sorry if you can see anything what I'm seeing, but it's having a problem. Well, we still have 5 laps to go. Suzuki B-Spec, I don't believe saying this, could win this race, and very much certain to win this race. Joe Black is still in second. Jezza is third, as I lie down. The defense of Gavra, Suzuki B-Spec, and what? That Suzuki B-Spec leads this way by a comfortable margin here, about half a lap now after problems and what's going on. 5 laps to go. He's going to win. Jezza is back up to third after what I'm going to say here, the best battle ever. Alec Gabriel is now catching Thunderhead, so this could be interesting actually. Jezza is spinning! Jezza is spun as I spoke about him! Round he goes! And oh, that's gone tragically wrong there. I was about to say he's doing a good job, but never mind me. Round he goes. Alec Gabriel, like I said, is closing up rapidly on 4th and will be rapidly closing up on 3rd now. Soup wants an invite to the party. We'll quickly do that. This is going to be a quick panic to the party. Alec Gabriel is closing up to the back. A bit of a lock-up player as I invite the one and only Soup. I presume that is Soup who wants an invite. Jezza is still in 3rd. Let's see. Soup is here on this momentous occasion.
I do not believe what I am witnessing.
Indeed, there is Soup. So it's going to get interesting. Yeah. Alec Gabriel from a lap down is going to clutch up and is going to make a dive perhaps any second on 4th. From a monstrous accident, doing back job from pit stop and error. He's made 3 pit stops. And he's going to perhaps take a position here. 4 to go.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is a momentous occasion in Gavra League history. Suki B-Spec may be the first female to ever win a race in the Gavra racing history, ever. And first Japanese driver.
Indeed. Alec Gabriel now right on the back here. And he's going to make a move down towards the chicane. We can't see. Can the game? He's going to go up the inside this time. And passing straight away. Let's see. Is he going to make a double dive? Let's see. Is he? No, he's not going to make even slight. Oh my goodness me. Very close there. Thunderhead's tyres are completely shot this time. He's dropping so much speed here and currently quickest by an absolute mile. He's almost 5 seconds quicker than Jezza. Alec Gabriel flying with 3 laps to go. And if he's keeping it up, he can possibly pass him here. Coming into the corner I cannot pronounce. And then coming in to Jock and Rit. And then towards the final chicane of Jackie X. 3 laps to go here in this momentous occasion here. Tasuki B-Spec pulling off after X-Roos disconnects from the warm-up session here from what would have been a certainly brilliant pole. Down the back. Joe Black, however, second after what, of course, momentous after the mistakes, and of course Jezza after having almost an enormous accident at the beginning as well, with about 3 wide down towards the second chicane. Amazing stuff to see here. To see them in 3rd. Alec Gabriel is now up into 4th, and let's see if he can go and challenge here. He's actually now going slower than Jezza, so Jezza's now put his pace down. He's put the hammer to the floor and is flying. Thunderhead is in 5th. 3 laps to go here, lap 29 out of 31.
You know, this makes Joe Black a contender for the Group B championship, because that's a no finish for Zwoosh. That's gonna make it, he's going to finish 2nd, and that's going to really close it up going into the final race, because we got a new leader in the Champion Group.
No, never mind. Sorry to interrupt you. Tasuki B-Spec suddenly just slowed right down. He got a penalty.
We got a new championship leader now going into the final race, because we also had the championship leader disconnect in our race. We had a big accident involving 5 cars.
Well, Joe Black is actually closing rapidly, so this could be interesting. Can Joe Black take 2 wins here?
Take the championship lead.
Well, he's only 11 seconds, and if there's mistakes still, could take a win. But
yeah, if he wins, he will take the championship lead. And actually, I think, hold on, I need to make sure that this could be big for this championship. Hold on.
Indeed. Oh, big Thunderhead.
This could be big.
Thunderhead spitting the fire out of the rear of the car.
Yeah, it's 25 for 2nd. And you're saying it's a no finish for Zwoosh, correct?
Yep, X-Roos not. Amazing drive from Suki.
I think...
No?
Hold on. Joe Black's your new championship leader.
Yep, and replying to Barry, did Tasuki set pole? No, X-Roos set pole by, I think, about 4 or 5 tenths, but disconnected on the warm-up by the looks of it. I think he had some wheel problems. So the striker with the wheel problems. 2 laps to go. Coming on to the last lap any minute now for the Japanese driver.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he will lead the championship by 8 points going into the final round.
Indeed. Let's see, Alec Gabriel was not coaching anymore actually. Currently quickest on the track is Jezza by some massive mile. And here, starting the final lap, Suzuki B-Spec, the female from Japan, will take the final lap.
I wanted to be here just so I could be in the commentary box when this momentous occasion happens. Our first Japanese driver and our first female driver is on the final lap and is about to take her first league victory, first win in Gavra League, and is going to be put in the record books, in the history books of Gavra League.
If you're as excited and nervous as I am, we know what can happen on the final laps. However, it's looking perhaps confident.
Zwoosh is in the chat. Zwoosh is in the chat. He's going to be an interesting last race. Indeed.
The pole set up, disconnecting, and of course wheel problems, leading to what could be the most amazing thing in Gavra League history. She's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners to go. The number 69 coming up the hill for the last time, coming down towards that hairpin for that last time, into the corner I cannot pronounce for the last time indeed, and then into Jock and Rit, and then she's only got 2 little things to go, the chicane.
I have got butterflies in my stomach.
Breaking
I do not
down
believe
for the last time, and exiting that last corner from the last time.
She's done it!
The Japanese driver, Suzuki B-Spec, will come to the line, lights ablaze, weaving in glory, and crashing into the... Oh my goodness! She's had a huge accident! Oh, she stopped on the track! And across the line backwards just ahead of Joe Black. Oh my goodness me, there's a huge crash on the finish line.
Jesus Christ. She's a bit excited.
The Suzuki B-Spec wins the race, the first Japanese winner in absolutely ages. And finally we have a winner, a female wins. Joe Black will be second, Jezef will be taking third, and Alec Gabriel will be taking fourth there. And oh my goodness me, that could have been the most dramatic finish ever had she not got that car turned around. Alec Gabriel will come across the line to finish fourth. And well,
for the first time in Gavra League history, we have a female winner, and for the first time, Evil, if you would,
hold on, let me get it up.
Could we please have the Japanese national anthem?
Oh, I don't even know where to find it. Well, this is just a Japanese anthem.
I could have...
No, I got it. Alright, so I spell anthem. How do you spell that? Oh, dear. We'll get here. I don't know how to spell words.
Hold on, I'll get it. I think I got it. The Japanese national anthem, ladies and gentlemen, all rise. Oh dear. Hold on. Start again.
Barry says put your mic sensitivity up, you can't hear him. I think it's done.
That's it.
Suzuki B-Spec, ladies and gentlemen, is your Grand Prix winner in Belgium. And there
What
it
a
is.
day for Gavra, for the
Confirmed.
Gavra League. What a day.
Josuke Spiesbeck wins. Poor Soup, he's all he's crying. Joe Black second. Jezza, must say, man of the day, however, female of the day, Josuke Spiesbeck, because he'd have to start doing that. Driver of the day, I'm having to say, Josuke Spiesbeck, but Jezza from a lap down to get third place. And only 21 seconds off the pace. Incredible pace by him.
And, of course, this will mean Joe Black is your new championship leader going into the final race.
Indeed. Well, in pure closing here, what an amazing race. I've never seen such an almost kinetic finish had that not gone well. That would have been the most explosive fireball in history. However, it is all over. Josuke Spiesbeck is your winner today. And boy, that's going to mean everything for Gavra. History in the world of motorsport has just been onwards. Tomorrow we have GT3 at, I can't remember what track, so Soup, you take it away.
I wasn't listening. What?
Tomorrow, race, whatever is it?
Oh yeah, GT3. GT3, Dubai International, 44 laps.
Indeed.
Group A, and then same thing on Friday.
Indeed. Well, in closing part there, what a kinetic race with only 5 people finishing. However, moving on, until next time, there's only one thing we can say. Thank you very much for watching. And on that bombshell, a very big bombshell, ta-ra!